Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to Slotcars for part 2 of the latest foam board build. So I'm going to be cracking on with like the exterior detail and the decorating inside. Let's see how far I get. So this is what I got to previously. Got the main structure of the building done, got the roof on, got the lights in place, lights are working, and just given the bottom section a coat of paint. So that's all good. Now I need to start working on the interior decoration and making it look pretty. To do this, I'm going to go back to a little system that I've adopted on previous builds. So for the exterior, I'm going to go wood paneling. So that's going to go across the front, across the side, and across the side, and we're going to put some windowsills in when it's all done as well. And I'm not too bothered about the join line because that will be in the centre, and I can plan on putting a couple of bits of thin MDF just to give it a bit of definition. So that's going to be the outside. On the inside, we're going to have a wooden floor. We'll call it oak. So we're going to have an oak floor interior. Well, that's just about big enough. More luck than judgment. And the walls, you get the sort of feel of this place. It's a bit sort of rustic, a bit like them trendy sort of wine bars that I never go in. I prefer Spit and Sawdust pub. The Red Line is more my place. But anyway, this is going to be the interior, so I should have enough here to do the back walls and the two sides. It doesn't especially need to be done on the inside of this because you're never going to see it, but if I've got enough left I might. So what am I going to do first? Exterior, I think. So I need to measure and cut out the exterior pieces. Right, that's the exterior cladding stuck on. Now the next thing I'm going to do is using these coffee stirrer sticks that I always seem to accidentally grab a couple of whenever I go into it for a coffee. As I'm just going to cap the corners just to tidy up the joints. So this is really hard to do one hand. So I'm going to have one on there, one on the other side. So I've got 4 of those to do. It's a bit fiddly, so I'm not going to film it. I'm going to get them cut, get them stuck on. I'm not going to paint them because in terms of colour, it kind of blends in okay, so I'm not too worried about that. And then the width is perfect. I'm going to use them just to put in like windowsills, and it covers the foam board, and it actually looks really effective. I've done that before. So there's a lot of cutting of little stirrer sticks to do. It's absolutely pissing it down outside. Can't hear myself think. Excuse my language. And well, let's see how it turns out. I think that looks a lot better now we've got the end pieces on and the internal window frames are in. I think that looks good. I think what I'll also do is while I'm sitting here with these bits is just to do is frame the window, so do a window frame, and then when I've done that, a couple of these little join marks I'm just going to pop a little bit there, and the same over that side. This is looking like a cabin, isn't it? So this is probably going to be called something like the cabin. That's original, isn't it? I'll work on that. Anyway, let's get the windowsills done. I've put the bottom section on. Now put top piece on. So far so good with the super glue, because I always stick my fingers to something. But as it stands, I haven't. So that's that piece stuck. I just need to cut a couple more pieces to size, and then we'll move on to do the door frame after that. And then just the final piece. Pop that in there. There we go. squeeze that in place. I've been a bit lazy with the joints. I could have done the 45-degree angle joints, but well, no one cares, do they? There you go. So that's the window sills, the window frames, and the end caps all in place. Let's have a look at it. Okay, I like this. Really pleased with this. I like the effect. I think it works well. So I'm just going to do the same here. Pop an internal frame and an external frame, and then we'll have to think about doors at some point, so I'll give that some thought. Well, I have to say it looks a little bit like my shed, but I like that. I think it looks pretty good. I just need to put an end cap on, sorry, this side here. Just put another piece coming down and a little piece at the top to match that up. But I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do these bits and then we'll have a look at the interior. The next section is the floor. So I've cut a piece out, just checking whether it fits. It needs to fit quite nice and snug, it needs to come forward a bit, but yeah, size wise it's fine. I can put a little square rectangle in there, and I'll probably also do with this bit. Might paint it. Yeah, let's paint it. I think, so we keep it all looking nice and tidy. For now, forget about the messy paintwork, because most of that will get covered by the wall coating when I do that, but we've got the floor in place, which I think it looks good actually. It works really well. So that's the floor, and I just now need to do the walls, and then we can start on some of the real internal detail. We've got to put a bar in, we've got to put drinks, we've got everything, maybe some benches, a lot of stuff to go in here. So first things first, let's get the wall done. Right, now I'm going to do the back wall. And this is going to be really fiddly, but I've cut it out to size. There's a little bit I need to cut out to go over the side of the staircase, so I'm going to snip that. I'm probably going to do this off camera because the language might not be good, so let's see how this goes. Right, I've said before, I always find that Pritt stick is the best stuff for sticking anything like this. The most important thing is to get around the edges, get glue around the edges, and then just a little bit through the middle, but it gets very, very fiddly to put on because it's so sticky. As soon as it touches the board, the foam board, it sticks, so it's quite hard to maneuver into place. But here we go. That's why I had my doubts about filming this. So if it works, it will go on the video. If it doesn't, I'll delete it and just show you the after shot. Okay, let's get rid of that. Here we go. Now it is lined up, so the top fits in line, so I'm just going to take a pump that it's in the right place. Alright, that's encouraging. No swearing so far. Well, what was all the fuss about? That was a piece of cake. On another day, that would have got stuck to my fingers, it would have gone on wrong, but actually that's worked out perfectly. So just so you can see, it's I'm just not the camera, but that looks really good. So now I'm going to cut out the two side pieces and then we'll get those glued in. Well, I think that looks rather good. That corner needs filling in, but just a case of cutting a little bit and sticking it over the top of that. So I think it looks really good. It's the effect that I've been looking for. So when we've got some furniture and stuff in there, a few things on the wall, I think it'll look pretty good. So I'm just going to get that piece covered and then we'll pop it back on the track and see how it looks. Alright, so now I'm just putting some roof supports on, and as much as anything it's to hide these marks a little bit from where I had something glued on there before, whatever that was. So I'll just cut out some thin strips. They can just sit on there, and then it can all get painted, because with the sort of rustic look of the shed, I don't think the silver works especially well, so I think I'm just going to go for, I'm not sure what colour, maybe a brown roof, I guess. I think when you do little bits like this, like with these bits on the roof, it just, I don't know, it just makes it look a little bit more three-dimensional, makes it a bit more interesting to look at rather than just a flat roof. So I need to go through my paints and see which one will work. Could be burnt umber. I think that'll work well. Yeah, I'm going to paint that, but I don't want to bore you with watching me paint this. So I'm going to get painted. When we come back, it'll be dry and it'll be really taking shape. Happy with the colour choice. It's pretty much dry now, so I'm just going to go over with another coat, which will be slightly diluted, but I'll give it another coat, and then the shell of this building will be about done. Right, now while the roof is drying after about the third coat and I'm done with it, I'm just doing like a timber effect on this decking out here, and I've just simply scored planks with a knife. And it doesn't look as good on camera as it does on the actual thing. Now, it's often the case, isn't it? But there you go, looks all right. So that's going to be the decked area. All that is, by the way, is just the same brown that I used for the roof there, but just watered down. So just dip the brush in the water and just get a little bit on the brush like that, and then you go over it like that. And depending how much or how little paint you're picking up, it has different thicknesses, dark, lighter shades, trying to get a bit of a blend in there. So there you go, tip of the day. So right, this is almost ready to put on the track. And then we have it in place, and I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with the effect so far. I've got the lights in there, which will show up better in the dark. Obviously they don't really show up too well. Got a little staircase going down to the entrance. You've got the decked area just there. So I think for this video, which has all been about adding the fascia of the building and decorating inside and getting everything painted and ready, I think we'll call this one finished for this video. And in part 3, I'll be working on the interior, chairs, benches, tables, things on the wall, you know, shelves, bits and pieces. We need a barrier around here, and you know, maybe some tables and chairs out here. So all the interior, all the sort of fine detail bits to finish this this little build off. So I've really enjoyed doing this, and I'm so pleased with the outcome. I think it looks pretty cool. So more to do, but until then, you all take care, my friends. Thank you. Bye bye.